About 1:25 this morning, we received a call of a shooting, an attempted robbery and a shooting. Officers responded to the 400 block of Martin Luther King Boulevard and found that a young man had been shot. In talking to witnesses at that time, we found that he had been sitting outside his residence with his girlfriend when a suspect walked up to the house from around the back of the house, from the side of the house, pulled a gun, asked for money. The victim said no. At that point, a struggle did ensue, as we later developed, with the victim saying, "No, I'm not giving you my money." The robber said, "Yes, you are." At some point, a gunshot was fired, and the victim collapsed back against the wall. The suspect then ran off down Martin Luther King Boulevard Martin Luther King Boulevard to the north. We arrived minutes after that to find the victim had been pulled into the house. It actually happened right at the front door. The victim had been pulled into the house, and EMS arrived minutes behind us, very quickly behind us, began treating the patient. He was airlifted to Brackenridge Hospital and pronounced dead at about 2:20 in the morning. We had originally identified the victim as Raul Garcia. However, we have subsequently been able to make a more positive identification. We're still working toward that, but at this time we believe it was actually Abel Garza, a 37-year-old Hispanic male who did die this morning early. And it's A-B-L-E, Garza, G-A-R-Z-A. And we've gathered that information from talking to multiple family members. The Raul Garcia was a name he did use on occasion, but we believe his true name to be Abel Garza. At this point, we are continuing to work this. It is an active investigation. I will tell you that we have developed a person of interest, and we're in the process of trying to make an identification of that person, but feel it'll probably be early in the week before we are able to do that, just because a lot of our resources are closed for the weekend. So we'll probably be calling in the Rangers to give us some assistance on Monday with making some identifications, pulling some photo files and things like that early in the week.
This person of interest, male or female?
Male. The suspect, as we have it identified now, is a black male, probably, I'm not sure age-wise where we're looking. We're thinking maybe mid-20s to late 20s, probably about 5'9", 5'10", medium build, and that's sort of what we have at this point. We have received some information from some folks in town that are helping us link this person of interest to what's going on. So hopefully we're going to be following up with some folks here in town and following up with some contacts that we have in the community to see if we can further develop that person and get them identified and then move on from there.
Do they know each other?
Don't have any idea at this point. Don't believe so.
With this person on the loose, is there a concern for public safety?
Well, anytime we have a person that's on the loose, we always have a concern, but I don't feel that the other people in that neighborhood are a direct risk at this point. I think based on what happened, this person is probably trying to stay out of contact with us or with other people right now in hopes that they can get away with this. But we're going to pursue this as quickly and as I'm lost for words at the moment. We're going to pursue this as quickly as we can to try to bring some resolution to this and get somebody identified and arrested.
And definitely a bit taxing for a smaller police department.
It is very taxing. Some of the information we'd like to get is going to be tough for us to get. That's why we'll call the Rangers to come in, because their resources are much greater than ours. All of our detectives were off this weekend. We've called them into work. They're going to be working throughout the weekend to try to get some resolution to this as quickly as we possibly can. And that's just the way it works in a small department. The one thing that about this department that I love is that these officers are dedicated, and they don't mind coming in on a weekend or on a holiday or whenever they need to come in, because their concern is for the safety of the community, not for whether or not they get an extra day off.
Sure. And have there been, recent robberies? I mean, is this something that maybe this suspect has targeted people before?
Well, it's hard to say. We've had 2 robberies in the last 10 or 12 days that may or may not be connected at this point. We're going to be looking at that as well and see if our person of interest might be involved in some of those. And if we've got a way to tie them together, then we'll tie them all together and present the entire series of robberies to the district attorney. At this point, this becomes a capital murder, and as far as we're concerned, and we will pursue this one as vigorously as possible, call in whatever resources we need. I am not at all bashful about calling whoever we need to call and say, we want some assistance, we need some help, and we want to make, we want you to come help make this happen. That's what we do in a small agency, is we call everybody that we can call. We've had help from the Bastrop Sheriff's Department already, Bastrop Police Department already. We'll be calling the Austin Police Department, because we've gotten information that they've had a couple of robberies that may or may not be similar in nature to the ones we've had in the past. So we're going to pull from wherever we can pull to make this work for the citizens of this community and get some closure for this family.
This happened on an otherwise joyous kind of weekend.
Right.
Is that pretty common in Elgin, or is that uncommon?
No, it's not common. This is the first murder we've had this year. In fact, it's the first one we've probably had in a couple of years. And if we never have another one, I'll be happy.